Yeah, also, if you haven't watched it yet, don't listen to any of this. I can
put a spoiler alert.
Yeah, and also, if you're listening to something like this is probably going to have Infinity War in the title. If you listen to a podcast about Infinity War, haven't seen it yet, everyone knows that they're killing off major characters and doing all this like stuff. You're a fucking idiot. You deserve whatever you get.
Grown-up human comic people! Grown-up human comic people!
Okay. This is a second of the day episode. Mm-hmm. We just wrapped up this would have been last week for everybody, I guess, if we regularly schedule these. But yeah, that was our first Cobra Kai episode. Mm-hmm. Or the first three. We talked about the first three. Anyway, let's go around the table, introduce everybody. Welcome to the show. J-Man.
Hey.
Greg.
That's me.
I'm Jared. We're the Grown-Up Humans. Welcome to the show. Thanks for listening. This is episode 59 of our show, Grown-Up Human Comic People. I feel like if people are listening, they don't need me to say all that shit that I used to say all the time. Where you can find us. I mean, you can go to the website, grownuphumans.com. That's pretty much the extent of...
Probably true also, but I think, like, I have no idea what episode number we're on from time to time. Usually everybody else does, which is cool. So I'm like, great, at least, those brains are working.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think about how like if I'm organizing files on my computer, instead of saying like number 1, number 2, whatever, like resume 1, resume 2, I'll say, I'll put like a year, month, day code in there or something, which that doesn't really work with seasons of shows or whatever. The episode, 2018 May.
We'll just name it whatever we talked about, and that'll be fine.
Yeah, but then you can see the sequence of it and like know exactly when it happened, and it's already in sort of numerical order.
Yeah. I probably should actually go and do that. Anyway, or we just do it from now on. That's probably easier.
People will understand.
Yeah. Just look at the past episodes. Whatever. It's cool. Yeah. So we're going to talk about some Infinity War right now.
The Infinite War.
It's a war that goes on for, I guess basically forever, right?
Yeah. That's what the title suggests.
Mm-hmm.
Long time.
Yeah.
Also, I watched Black Panther.
Oh, you finally did?
So I've seen every single thing.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, so first,
I'm not missing anything.
I just want to hear your Black Panther.
I liked it. I mean, there was so much hype around it, though.
Yeah,
I think I was a little overboard. It's still not my favorite.
I would say that's one you should watch twice. At least twice, because there's a bunch of stuff. Like, once you think about the characters and how they interact with each other, and how that movie, in kind of the same way Cobra Kai does, like, gives you two different sides of the same coin, and like how it asks you to decide what you'd believe in. I really like it for that.
The two problems I had with it were two things that nobody talked about at all. One of them I'd seen in the trailer, and I can't remember who I watched it with, but they were like, it won't look that bad in the movie, which was like when he's doing that big ridiculous flip. They showed it in the trailer where like cars blowing up and he's flipping off of it, and it looks like super CG shitty.
Yeah.
I thought that almost all the action in that movie just like had some ridiculous CG fucking Panther Man that was just moving kind of the wrong way that you could tell was CG. I don't know why they did that. They like overdid it with the CG. They should have kept him on the ground. Fighting hand to hand like a normal person. Like make it a little more realistic. I don't know why they thought they needed to make him like so just over the top super.
Well, I think maybe because the other Wakandans are also pretty good fighters. It might be difficult to distinguish between how good he is versus how good they are. He actually has in this like superhuman powers. He can jump and he's way stronger than everybody. So because the heart-shaped herb.
Oh yeah, sure. I know that he has superpowers, but like I thought some of it was just so over the top. You know what I mean?
No, you're not
They could
wrong,
have done it a lot more like classier than they did it.
Yeah,
I thought,
that's
for sure. That was the only that, and then the other thing was just never seeing the mask ever. Him or Killmonger. Like, they were having exchanges in the battles where it was like, whoop, off goes the mask. Let's talk to each other. Got to get that FaceTime. They're paying me to be in this movie. Oh, I can't stand that when they do that.
In this movie, like, you need that act. You need to see the actors.
His costume was so good.
It was cool.
I just was disappointed that I didn't get to see enough of it.
Well, see, I think that there's so much to this movie. Like, there's so much they to pack into it.
I think also as I was watching it, especially the beginning parts, I was like, it almost would have worked better as a show. I'm pretty sure that it would have worked better.
Maybe
some of the stuff at the beginning seemed really rushed to me.
Yeah,
like with him being like initiated and all that. And
yeah,
like,
that's true.
Because I've read all that stuff.
Yeah,
and that stuff takes place over the course of like a lot of time.
Yeah. It's not like it's like today he was crowned king and like it's
like, no, and then the next day this happened, and then the next day after that, like all that shit happened for like over the course of like a week.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
It's a fast-paced movie, so you don't need to necessarily make the audience feel like you're watching over a week. You know, because if you do that, like Lord of the Rings actually feels really long because you think it takes place over a long fucking time because it's just like that's the kind of the point. They're kind of like this is a long journey.
Well, it's tough. If they would have made it a show, they couldn't have made Lakonda look the way it did, and they couldn't have done as much with like the special effects to make the city look as good. So there would have been some drawbacks there.
Yeah, and all that stuff was awesome. Like all the Wakanda and everything. I thought
city
really
looked cool.
So Infinity War.
Set up to that, yeah.
Have any of you have you either? I'm pretty sure you haven't, Greg, read the Infinity Gauntlet books.
No, I haven't read any of that.
Have you read them?
I have not actually.
Wow.
I
Let's not even talk about that then.
I flipped through like I think that one of the trades or whatever. But
yeah,
you could shed light on it if you have. Have you?
I mean, yeah, I have. It's so far. Like we're only halfway through the story though. It has mimicked. I would say like in the core of the plot.
Yeah.
Does match the book so far.
Yeah.
In that he gets all the
stones.
stones and that he kills half of everybody.
Yeah, I knew
but
that.
They do a lot of stuff different though, and also like he does that immediately in the book. Like that happens before they team up to try to take him down or anything. Like he immediately kills half of everybody. So you don't see they don't know about it until everybody's already dead.
Damn.
Yeah, so we're essentially at the like kind of towards the beginning of the arc of the.
Yeah, we're at the first time they try to take him down, and then the rest of it would be this next time they try to take him down
with like Adam Warlock and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's different because they don't have the same characters.
But they do.
Are they going to put him in? But they haven't introduced him.
Yes, they have. Guardians too.
I know but they didn't like actually introduce the character. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, but
they
but that's definitely him.
There's just that little ending where they say they say his name will be Adam or some shit. I can't remember what the bitch says.
Yeah, if she says something, then yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how they have to be going with that. Like,
yeah,
that's definitely.
Well, in the book, he's there from the very beginning, and he takes the place of like he's the lead character throughout the whole book.
So like the place Doctor Strange, kind of.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, Doctor Strange is also in it, but he really like commands everything. Like,
right.
He is like Doctor Strange is sort of like the place taker for him.
Right. Well, in this they'll probably in the next movie have him play that role because Doctor Strange is now
he's now dead. That's probably pretty good. Yeah. Also, if you haven't watched it yet, don't listen to any of this. I can
put a spoiler alert.
Yeah, and also if you're listening to something like this is probably going to have Infinity War in the title. If you listen to a podcast about Infinity War, haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Everyone
knows that they're killing off major characters and doing all this like stuff. You're a fucking idiot. You deserve whatever you get.
Yeah. Also, but what I was also going to say was that we don't know that, and I've heard like other theories online and stuff where we don't know that those characters are necessarily dead. Because they didn't die, they kind of like disappeared.
In the book, he wipes them from existence.
Yeah. But I'm saying, if the movie, what they could do is they could have them be like, say, in that Soul Stone world.
Yeah.
Because remember, he kind of is in the gem.
Well, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, exactly. So like, if they do that, then all those characters who disappeared, because it was like all the newer characters. Like now you have like the old Avengers left. So in the real world, you have the old Avengers who were
That's what I said to Greg. The original 5 or 4, whatever that is.
Yeah.
They're still there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like the original group against Thanos in the epic final battle.
But then in the other whatever world, they'll have time to have the newer characters who are going to be in the new movies like, get to know each other and try to figure out maybe a way out of the stone or something like that.
Okay.
And then you'd have like 2 groups of characters, and you have you can get all that stuff in and solidify a new team in preparation for the old ones leaving.
I mean, that's cool. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, and that's not my idea. That was just like, in fact, Dan and I talked about this on like previous podcasts. But yeah, it's maybe what's going to go on. Yeah, what do you guys like? Specific moments that you liked?
Gosh, I should have. Sometimes I show up with notes, and today I didn't. Crap, because it was Monday that I saw it, which was 5.
I love the interactions too between Thor and Guardians.
Oh my god,
it was a good pairing to put him with them because they had to make like one of the original characters had to meet the Guardians for the first time, and I kind of thought it was going to be Iron Man.
Yeah,
but then they did it with Thor and it worked really well.
Yeah,
because he's just so like. Especially when it comes to technology, he doesn't
give a fuck about it.
He just doesn't give a shit. He has no idea like how it really works, sort of. Like he thinks it works like magic.
Yeah. Oh, also the cool thing I don't know if you guys know this, but apparently they for each segment with those different characters, whoever directed like their movie, they like helped to direct that scene. I think so. Thor, Taika Waititi, and James Gunn, who direct Guardians, I think helped to direct all the Guardians and Thor scenes. So it feels like those movies a little bit.
Oh, wow.
Because they're both like comedies, you know. Like, those directors are really good at making those, like that Drax moment where he's like standing still, which a lot of people hated.
Yeah.
But like whatever. I don't know.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's definitely a Guardians of the Galaxy type of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was definitely like a James Gunn idea. You know.
Yeah, it like shifts too when it gets to like different characters. Like
Right.
it did immediately because Rubber Band Man started to play.
Yeah.
Before they even like hit the screen, I was like, "Oh, Greg."
Yeah. Yep. There they are.
Because I knew, and then it was like, bam, shows them.
Yeah.
I knew they were coming as soon as it started. Like, oh, it starts some '70s music.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that, like a little movies within the movie,
Yeah.
like directed by different people.
Yeah.
Which I thought worked really well. And this one actually feels like a comic book crossover. Because they didn't take any time explaining who anybody fucking was.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, I'm Star-Lord. Hey, I'm Spider-Man. Oh, there's a Spider-Man. There's an Ant-Man. There's both. Marvel is like, okay, if you're sitting in this movie theater, you fucking know who all these people are.
Yeah, there was no real origin or any bullshitty
No.
crap like that. There was a little backstory for Thanos, but some of that was already covered in previous movies.
Exactly.
So.
It's like, if you're not on the same page, sorry, fucking strap in. You're going for a ride.
Yeah.
Also, I think it was the best way that they embodied that, because they did the same thing in Avengers 2 when Hawkeye says to Scarlet Witch, he's like, the city's floating. I got a bow and arrow. None of this makes any sense.
Yeah.
But I think, who is it? I think it's Tony talking to Peter, and he says, this guy's from space. He's trying to take a necklace from a wizard.
Yeah.
When you say it like that, it sounds real silly.
Yeah.
And because it is silly, but it's great.
There was a good moment. I can't remember who said it, but they were talking about Paul Rudd's character and Peter Parker, and somebody said, "Wait, so there's a Spider-Man and an Ant-Man?"
Yeah. And it's a great writing technique, because like if you point it out in your own movie that like this is what's happening, guys.
Yeah.
You're watching a guy from space try to take a fucking necklace from a wizard. Like that's what this movie is. So if you're not okay with that, you can leave. Like if you have the character say that, the critics don't have to say that. If the critic says, "Oh, this is a fucking spaceman trying to take a necklace from a wizard," it's like, "Oh, you're right, but you're an asshole."
Yeah.
But if they say it in the movie, that's funny as fuck.
Yeah. I already quoted one of the things, like just before we came downstairs here to record. It was when Peter Parker met Dr. Strange, and he goes, "Hey, I'm Peter Parker," and he goes, "Oh, Dr. Strange," and he goes, "Oh, sorry, we're using made-up names. Spider-Man." And it just Benedict Cumberbatch's reaction. He doesn't respond to him. He just does the slow turn and the eye roll, like, okay. Not going to dignify that with a response.
But the funny thing is, I'm never sure if this is a joke. It's brilliant. Like the whole Peter saying and doing things like that comes off as him being innocent, but Peter's like a genius, and so I'm thinking like because he's a young guy, he might be fucking like, especially with Tony, because he says shit like in Civil War, he says, "Remember in this really old movie called The Empire Strikes Back?" I'm not sure, because his one of Spider-Man's things is to talk shit on his enemies and fuck them up. So, like, he's just a shit talker. Peter's a little fucking asshole. So, like, I'm thinking, because he says the same thing, and he says, this really old movie, Aliens?
Yeah.
Like, Aliens isn't even that old. And
Well, you're right. It's not that old. Plus, everyone and their unborn child should know what Aliens is.
You're right, also. Yeah.
That's the other thing. I hated it when he did it with the Star Wars reference.
Right, but
it just doesn't make sense because, like...
He's a nerd.
Yeah, it doesn't
He
make...
definitely knows what that is.
He definitely knows what it is because he's a nerd. And also, like, if I say to you, this guy Elvis, like,
Right,
we all know who Elvis is.
Right,
Yeah.
so I'm
He,
thinking...
that was many, many years before my mother was even born. Like, was he, like, first becoming popular? Like, holy shit.
Yeah, but Peter is...
Like, some things people just fucking know.
Peter's really fucking funny, and especially whenever he's not when he's talking to one of the bad guys, he's like such a dick, and they even do that in the Homecoming, in the new,
Which I haven't seen. I heard that it's good, though.
Yeah, but he talks shit, like he talks a lot of shit, and so whenever he's with the adults of the other Avengers who are older than him, I think he's like intentionally trying to be like make them feel old, and because he also like, why would you say the same thing twice? Like this really old movie, he says it really intentionally, and you can tell it annoys Tony every time. I think a lot of time he's specifically trying to annoy Tony.
Yeah, especially in Homecoming, weren't they like building him and his friend building like a Death Star like Lego thing or something?
Exactly. Yeah.
He like knew what Star Wars was.
It was his Death Star.
Yeah.
Because what's his name was playing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah. So I'm not. I hope that that's the case.
Well, I mean, I hope that you're right about that, because that would make it sit better with me too. Especially whenever he said like, "Oh, this really old movie, Aliens," and I thought like, there are 4 Alien movies. Why would you point to the second one?
Yeah.
When that happened in the first one, the second one, and the fourth one.
Yeah. So I think it's like him patronizing Tony and not Like, he's not seriously
Yeah.
think that Tony hasn't seen those movies. I think he's just being a dick.
Yeah, it's not like saying, "Oh, this really old movie, Mac and Me," or
Right.
I don't know,
Or like an actual old movie, like this really old movie, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
yeah, right,
Like, that's
I don't know what the fuck that is.
it's a really old movie.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
Good one, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's trying to just fuck with Tony a lot, you know, which is also very funny to me. Yeah, I thought the one, the what's his name, Ma, the guy with the psychic powers, Thanos' minion, the one that takes Doctor Strange.
One
Yes.
of his children, or whatever they're called.
Yeah, it's something Ma.
I don't remember what that guy's name was.
The one that was subject to the aliens example.
Yes,
Yes, they got
Yeah.
sucked out. Yeah,
yeah, which was a good reference though. I mean, it was a good I like that was the plan. Like,
Oh yeah. No, it was a good plan, and it's like, nah, the kid's seen more movies, and that was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that character.
yeah, I thought Ebony Ma.
Okay.
Ebony Ma, what's his name. I thought the way they did him was really cool because whenever he was walking around,
Looked like a Star Wars character, but like way too scary and creepy to actually be
Yeah.
at Star Wars.
if Star Wars was, instead of directed by, like I said, if Jim Henson hadn't just made the costumes, was also making the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a good way to
like
put
Star
it.
Wars, but like Dark Crystal Star Wars.
Yeah.
Where you're like, that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah. Where they gave him like free reign.
Yeah. To get real fucking weird. I thought that was really well done, especially in Thor's ship at the beginning when he's walking around. It's like I think it is a person, like an actor walking around in a suit, and the suit looks cool. And then when it gets to his face, you can tell it's a little bit CG, but it looks really good, I think. And can we? Speaking of all the stuff on Thor's ship at the beginning, because the movie's so much stuff happens in the movie that you forget all the stuff that happened at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
So like at the beginning of the movie, whenever they just massacre like the whole of Asgard, and like where
Yeah.
the hell are all the characters we just loved in Ragnarok? And then one of my favorite parts was just him beating the fuck out of the Hulk. Like,
Thanos beating up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he owns the Hulk.
like because the Hulk is, I mean, regardless of who's stronger, like the Hulk is at the end of the day, it's like Bruce Banner but bigger and with less knowledge. So Bruce Banner probably isn't a good hand-to-hand combatant. I can't imagine the Hulk knows any hand-to-hand combat because
He's just strong. That's all
he's
he
just
is.
strong. Like he's never had to have a fight with somebody because like he just smashes stuff. No one is that strong to go up against him. So like all he ever does is throw fists hard. He's never had to like put up his fist and protect his head or his ribs or anything. He's not
Yeah.
a box.
Yeah.
And you can tell that Thanos really knows how to fight and just like beats the fuck out of him with a bunch of like just hand-to-hand combat moves.
Yeah.
It was awesome to watch.
Yeah. It's funny to talk about how good the choreography is between two CG characters,
Yeah.
but it is really good. Like it was really interesting to watch.
Yeah.
CG was fucking great. Everyone keeps saying that.
Yeah.
Thanos, like, man, he just looks so good. Fantastic job.
Especially with his face, like when they get close-ups and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
It's really as good as it could have been.
Absolutely, yeah. With our current technology, I can't see it being any better than that. His emotions came through.
Yeah.
And he's a three-dimensional character, like we were talking about earlier, like just like Johnny and Daniel. Like you understand kind of where he's coming from a little bit. He might, obviously his methods are fucked up,
Yeah.
but like he's not evil for no reason.
They changed that up too, as compared to the book, is what his
Right.
intentions and stuff. They gave him way more depth and made it way more interesting why he's doing what he's doing. Because in the book, it's just to win
Impress
over
death.
death. That's what the whole thing is about. He's just kind of crazy for death, and he's always trying to like just do something to win her over.
Yeah, and
that's the whole plot, basically.
yeah, and honestly, like in a comic book that works, but like who can relate to that?
No.
No one can fucking relate to that.
Yeah.
Like, if you put that on the screen, people will be like, "This is stupid."
He's just trying to win over the heart of his girlfriend or whatever. That was kind of dumb.
So Death has a figure as a character.
Yeah, death has like a manifestation, like a physical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but it's so that yeah, you're right. That's and I think that's a really smart choice because when you make Thanos interesting, then
Yeah, they made him way more interesting.
like honestly, the second time I saw it and I was watching him more closely, realizing that like so my theory was like he doesn't actually want to be doing any of that stuff. He's just really fucked up. They call him the Mad Titan not because he's like evil crazy, but because he like is deeply crazy. Like, he's like a reasonable, intelligent being most of the time, but he can't see past like his own idea of like you have to kill half of everybody. There are other ways to fix things, man. You know, like,
Yeah.
you might be super intelligent and like powerful, but you're an asshole.
There's one moment where I won't say that most of the movie is predictable at all. There's one moment where like leading up to it, I thought, I'm pretty sure this is going to happen. And it definitely did. When he was walking with Gamora to get the Soul Stone.
Right.
And then Red Skull, who, by the way,
Yeah, dude,
great grand
I
entrance.
was gonna say they played the long game on that one. Holy shit, he disappeared how many fucking years ago?
It was almost 10 years ago.
Oh
He
my
disappeared.
god.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I was trying to after I'd seen him disappear like that, I was like, man, I can't wait for him to reappear.
Yep.
I'm waiting for that moment. I totally forgot it was so long ago.
Yep. And
Yeah.
they hit you with, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got sucked up in that shit.
And did you like that little detail? This movie has so many little details. Did you notice his accent was almost gone?
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it the same dude playing
Yeah,
him?
it's Hugo Weaving.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Well, because if you think about it, like if he was just by himself for a long time, he wouldn't have spoken to anybody. Or maybe he was speaking to all the people who tried to come get the stone.
Sure, because he said that he did.
Right. And also maybe he like whatever power took him, like he made him able to speak to anyone, so it made it easy to understand him in English. You know, anyway, I just thought that was a cool detail. Like his accent was gone, and I hopefully it wasn't just because like Hugo Weaving forgot to do the accent.
Yeah.
I can't imagine they put all that fucking makeup on him and then he just forgot to do the accent. You know, it's like you're the Red Skull, and he's a well respected actor. Like he's not going to just like phone it in for.
Yeah, that seems weird that it would be that sloppy.
Yeah, I don't think any of this was sloppy. So I think that they intentionally they're like, you know what, maybe your accent is like not as prevalent as because you're like a space deity now. So
Yeah. Now, if it were, so it's speaking in our own years, that's, what is it, 8 years ago that Captain America First Avenger came
something
out?
like that. Yeah.
And, but if we're talking movie years, that's almost 80 years.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because he disappeared in 45 or whatever.
Yeah. Sometime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he's,
Been there for he says I've been here for a lifetime.
that is most definitely true.
Yeah,
That is, man, that was
it was
good.
a lifetime ago, literally for him.
Yeah. That was awesome.
He tried to possess the stones.
Yeah. Anyway, there's probably more that I would appreciate if I understood more about that scenario with him.
Yeah.
But that aside, as far as like Thanos going up there with Gamora, it's like, oh, to get the Soul Stone, you have to sacrifice the one thing that you love or something. And okay,
Oh
well,
yeah, you seen it coming.
yeah, from a mile away, and Gamora didn't.
Yeah.
Like,
Well. Here, consider this. Consider the fact that like she thinks that he's a monster and he's not.
yeah.
Because she hates him so much, it didn't even cross her mind that he actually does care about her in some way. In fact, that's whenever he the second time I saw that scene when she's screaming at him, like when his back is turned and he's just like crying on the other side. That's not because like it's because like she's hurting his feeling. Like he loves her and he's her dad. He considers her to be his daughter, like for real. Yeah. And so like imagine if you first of all were about to have to kill your daughter and you just realized that. Like he didn't know that. I don't think he knew. I think he took her with him because so it wasn't a trap, you know. Like he's like you're gonna fucking show me exactly where the Soul Stone is. And I think that she maybe just I think she maybe happened to be there with him, and that's why it was like really. I don't think he was expecting to have to do that.
No, he wasn't expecting to have to do that.
Yeah. So that moment where it's like him making up his mind that he's gonna do it anyway. He's gonna kill the only person who he ever even tried to understand it. He says earlier that he says you're the only one who at least for a little while understand what I was trying to do. And so like he's been alone this whole time, and he really tried to bring someone in with him, and like it worked for a little while, and then she ran away, and then like he probably just missed her the whole time. You know, he wasn't like, God damn it, send some people to kill Gamora. And the whole time he was probably like, well, hope maybe Gamora will come back tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't seen her in a long time. I really miss her. This whole time, like, and she's like, my dad's a fucking asshole, and he, whatever, like all this stuff, and like it never crossed her mind that like he really cares about her, and like he was just trying to make her his like sidekick. And so that moment for him is like fucking intensely painful. And the second time I watched it, I was watching Josh Brolin's acting, and like, man, this is like a father who believes so much in what he's doing that he's going to like. He just decided he has to kill his kid. And on top of it, she fucking hates him. And I'm sure he was like at some point hopeful that they could repair their relationship. Mm-hmm. And now he realizes he's not going to get that opportunity. And he's going to have to kill her himself. That's insane. So watching it again, watch Josh Brolin's face. Thanos, I don't think is necessarily he has feelings. Like he's not a sociopath. Like he has real feelings. And it's really like heartbreaking to watch him go through that in that point. And then at the end of it, like at the very end of the movie, it's you can only imagine what he has to feel like, you know. He's just like, and another reason to be to like kind of be on his side a little bit is he could have killed all the Avengers at any point with his bare hands. He doesn't kill almost anybody himself. Like he kills a couple people, but like he kills.
He should have killed Captain America when he punched.
Well,
that does happen in the book, and it's awesome because it's the same. That same scene happens where he like lunges at him with the gauntlet, and then he like grabs hold of it,
Yeah.
and Thanos gets that little like look on his face, like, wait a minute, I thought you were just a regular guy. How are you stopping this?
Yeah.
And then he punches the shit out of him with his other hand.
Yeah.
But in the book, he just cripples. He just dies when he punches him. It just that punch kills him.
Yeah, I was
That would have
completely
been way cooler.
Yeah.
because I was completely certain. Like when that punch came, I thought you just got a direct blow from the most powerful being in the universe.
Yeah, his head should
Yeah.
have came off. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I understand that your metabolism is 4 times the normal metabolic rate, but you are a human being.
Well, okay, in the Marvel movies, he does sort of have superpowers. Like he's definitely not, because in the books he's literally just like Olympic level athlete. He's not necessarily like whatever the limit of human endurance is. He can get there, but no further. Like he's not actually a superhuman. He's just very, very, very athletic.
Okay.
But in the movies, he can like pick up cars and shit. He's like actually superhumanly strong and fast and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like going by the explanation that they made in Captain America: The First Avenger,
Yeah.
they went through the stats of. I remember 4 times the metabolic rate, and I don't remember what else, but it's
A bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like it's not all normal stuff. It's definitely like far beyond even exceptional, but it's not anything that can make you withstand.
Well, no, but that's my point. The point is that like Thanos probably didn't punch him as hard as he could. In fact, he didn't even kill Bruce Banner when he was coming at him as the Iron Man. Everybody, he just disables all of the Avengers.
Okay.
Like whenever he's going towards Vision, he could have just murdered all of them, but he doesn't kill any of them. Because he doesn't. You could argue that he doesn't care enough about to. But I think that like even when he goes to punch Cap, he says that and because it's a different Thanos than the book, because the book Thanos is a fucking death worshipping asshole.
Sure, but then like also that what you're saying might actually make more sense. Like as you were explaining, I'm like, nah, you're wrong. But like in the book, what his final downfall is that he even knows that he shouldn't be doing what he's doing.
Right.
Because when he killed half of everyone, he had the choice of who he wanted to go and who he didn't want to go.
Oh.
And he intentionally left those people there.
Okay.
So that they could stop him from doing what he's going to do.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in his heart of hearts, he knows that this is wrong.
Yeah.
But
He thinks it, but like there's a part of him that thinks this is the only way to do it, but then there's another part of him that wants people to stop him from doing this because
Right.
he doesn't even enjoy having to kill half of everyone.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think this Thanos is even more like that. It's like when he I think that in that look when he looks at Cap, he's like, man, look at this fucking guy.
Yeah.
I can't believe like this is just like a human. What is this guy doing? I'm Thanos. And he's like, man, it's like a Johnny Lawrence moment. He's like, that's badass. And then he punches him out. But he doesn't kill him. He punches. It doesn't even look like he swings that hard. He's just like, boop, get out of my way. You're in my way.
Yeah.
Props to you. You're
even
badass.
when he kills Iron Man or thinks he killed Iron Man, he says like,
I respect you, Stark.
I respect you, and
You have my respect.
we will talk about you later on or some shit.
Yeah, I hope they remember you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah, he doesn't cut off Tony's head, stabs him, so he can give him his words of respect, and so he can live a little longer. Be like, man, you know, I understand we have opposing viewpoints, but you have my respect. Sorry, I have to kill you. But yeah, I thought that was great. Like, I love that. I love the way that they've characterized him, and also we can have this conversation. So it's loose enough where you can interpret it however you want.
It does make me feel better about him not killing Captain America because it was not intended to be a killing blow. So that makes me feel a little more right with it.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, Cap woke up a few minutes later, didn't even have a fist-sized bump in his head or dent.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe if he had hit him open-handed, I would have or
slapped him away.
or like
That's
with
what he should have done.
backhanded. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that would have been disrespectful.
It would've-
You're right. It would have been. It would
He
have been.
wanted to give him one on the chin like a man, so he could fall down and say that he did his job.
Yeah. I guess that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, remember that part when he just bitch slapped Captain America?
It's like, oh man, I didn't like seeing Cap go like that.
Fell on the ground like a bitch. Oh man.
Like a middle finger to the United States of America. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So the ending though, there was one part that confused me.
Yeah.
Right after he got the stones and he snapped his fingers. Here's what I thought. He snapped his fingers and then he was in this like place of tranquility and young Gamora was there.
It's so vague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
So while he was there, I thought, oh man, he snapped his fingers and killed half of everybody. He happened to be included in the half that died. That is so awesome.
He did say it was random.
Yeah.
He said it was unfeeling, unbiased. Half of everybody. Doesn't matter who you are. That's a good idea, though. I like that.
Yeah, so he was there and he was having this like, we're in the afterlife thing with Gamora, and there's like she's young, so there's like this timelessness that in theory is in the afterlife.
Yeah.
But then you see him a moment later with Scarlet Witch, and he just like gets sucked into a wormhole, and then that's the last that you see of him. Okay, what? I guess I was wrong, man. I don't know. Like, what? Do you know what's up? Does anybody know what's up with that?
I'm not sure what that was. I think he was inside the Soul Stone again, because when he threw Gamora off, I think he got sucked into the stone for a second, like into the stone world. Because remember, he ends up like lying on his back with the stone in his hand.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what happened there either. But like the Soul Stone is definitely like the weirdest stone and like kind of the center of the most unique stone because it can do all that shit. I'm not sure if he was in the stone or if the stone is talking to him in his own mind or what. Yeah. But I mean, the wormhole thing, that was just him using that the space stone to teleport away.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but as he's fighting, when he's using the different powers of different stones, they light up.
They light up, yeah.
Yeah,
that was
awesome.
bad as fuck.
Yeah, it's really cool. And also have the gauntlets fried now.
Yeah, how did that happen?
I don't know. I'm assuming he took too much power to. That's like a big feat, right? Killing half of the universe's population. Like that's probably took a lot of power.
Yeah, that was weird. I forgot about that.
And also keep in mind the gauntlet itself isn't one of the stones. Like the stones are their own thing, but the gauntlet had to be made by what's his name?
By the world's biggest dwarf.
Yeah, by
yeah.
What the fuck is his Etri?
I can't remember the
Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
I was
yeah.
going to say Tyrion Lannister.
Yeah, whenever, awesome casting, by the way. Having Peter Dinklage play a giant.
A giant.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
Like I saw him on screen, like, wait a minute, you're not really that big.
The voice he did though was a little goofy sounding.
It was a little bit.
It sounded like he was talking like this all the time.
Yeah, there was a couple moments I was like, I'm not sure here. Sounds a little doofy.
I kind of liked it though because it was so stupid. It was almost like, you know what? Let's just throw in Peter Dinklage. Like we have to put Etri in this. This is already silly. Like we're going to Nidavellir. Come on, let's just make it. We'll make it Peter Dinklage. He'll be a giant dwarf. It'll be hilarious. We'll have him do a really silly voice.
Yeah,
that's what killing you means.
Yes, that's what. Yeah,
It's my big voice.
I like that guy. I like that guy because he seems like he has a pretty good sense of humor.
Oh, absolutely. He seems like the coolest fucking guy in the world.
It was only like the movie came out more than 10 years ago, but I recently saw for the first and only time the movie Elf.
Oh yeah.
So his one scene in that movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen Elf, Cher?
Yeah, the one with what's his name?
Will
Ferrell. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember him in it though. I've seen it like once a long time ago.
So
Yeah,
just brief setup, just as it pertains to Peter Dinklage. Yeah. Well, so Will Ferrell, of course, is a human but raised by elves in the North Pole, and then he ends up back in, I guess, New York City. James Caan plays his father, his biological father, which is hilarious because, like, they kind of look like they could be related.
Yeah.
And Will Ferrell can be like, "Daddy," and James Caan just is a mean, crotchety, villainous presence. Yeah, just as his neutral state of being. So it's so easy to see this thing erupt. But like 3/4 of the way through the movie, James Caan's like, okay, just like chill out during this meeting. I have to go to a meeting with this guy, really important guy. I gotta not fuck this up. They go in, and it's Peter Dinklage, and of course Will Ferrell, who's been like raised by elves, is like, "Oh, you're from the workshop too." And like
Yeah, I remember this.
But they had the whole setup of like, okay, this guy, like, really, he's all business. We just got to not piss this guy off. Yeah. And he's picking on his height, which he's of course had since birth. And he's like, okay, very funny. Wait, let's move on. And he's like, oh, did Santa let you go for the season?
Yeah, because he really thinks he's an elf. Yeah, and he thinks he's fucking with him.
Yeah. And so finally, Peter Dinklage loses his shit, and he's like, all right, mother, but I've had just about enough of you. Like goes through this thing for a half a minute. Moment of silence, and Will Ferrell goes, ooh, he's an angry elf. And then he hops up on a table and runs across and just tackles him. It's really good.
It's great. That's a great movie.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's Peter Dinklage is cool.
Yeah, he seems really cool in interviews and stuff too. What were we talking? Oh, the gauntlet.
Oh yeah.
So I remember that there was a prototype gauntlet in his workshop already.
Yes.
You could maybe potentially use that. Like Adam Warlock might be able to use that one because I'm assuming he's going to have to be the character.
Was it a prototype? I thought that was just a mold.
Might have been a mold. I don't know.
Okay.
So either way, he could make another one, presumably, right? So I'm assuming that like
That's true, yeah.
Adam Warlock's probably going to be the only person who is strong enough to use the other gauntlet. Because remember, Thor said that you can't use Etri's weapons because most of the other heroes can't because they're too powerful. they don't have the strength or whatever. But those gold people are supposed to be like perfect, right?
Everything's so different because compared to the book, though. But like in the book, like he is made from one of the stones,
Right.
So he is essentially like part of it and knows the stones better than any other being. But he's not made from the stones in the movies,
Right.
So that's a little different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's what makes him the only person who is able to wield that gauntlet, who should be able to use it.
I'm assuming that he's going to be the only one who's able to use it and then they'll have to have Etri make a second gauntlet for him and then get the stones back from Thanos. I guess we'll have to see.
You know who's not going to see? That guy in the theater who, as soon as the first credits rolled up, he stood up and went, "Man, it's bullshit." It was Eazy-E, I think, down in the front row.
He's been hiding out for a while.
Yeah.
He got up. He's like, "They're all dead. Fuck it." Like, yeah, he just like, I don't think, dude.
Was he like legitimately upset?
I mean, he did not waste.
He didn't watch any of the end stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, he got up and stormed off. Yeah, that's. I'm not exaggerating. And like whenever I say easy, it actually sounded like it because it was that kind of like whiny, like back of the throat voice.
I want bitches. Yeah, that's what yeah.
Well, it was funny too because like I was definitely blindsided by the whole ending because I hadn't read the book. So when I saw it, I didn't know how closely paralleled it was with the books, and I just thought, man, that was a ballsy move for any Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
And the fact, I asked Jared at the time, like when the books came out, and it was like early '90s, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it was 1991, something like that. Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, the readership then, even though comics were big then, comics then were not as big as movies are ever.
Right.
So, like, they really kind of gave everybody a zinger in 1991. But, like, now they've got to live with it for, like, the entire viewership that's out there. Because it's a cheap move to, like, soften it for the viewing public. I'm glad that they didn't do that.
Yeah. And also, I mean, and I like that they did that. Although I wish they would have made slightly different choices. I'm sure that the choices are intentional, and like we haven't seen the second movie yet, so we don't know. But like whenever you start with like Black Panther, and like whenever Peter goes, you're like, okay, well we know that there's going to be more of these movies because Black Panther made $1 billion. Like he's not dead for real.
And they only have like one movie so far. Yeah, they can't kill him off permanently.
Yeah. So like
There's no way.
Until we see the second movie, we can't really make that call. Like so, it might as you said, like it might have been Thanos like unconsciously preserving the people he thinks are the best ones suited to kill him or whatever to stop him.
To actually stop him, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that's it. But that was just like that when as I was watching that, I was like, well, fucking, I mean, we're not going to lose Peter or T'Challa, so I know that this is
that they're going to undo that in some way.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they're going to do. If they're going to bring back some of these people, if they bring back all of them, if they just go, everything's back to normal now. Adam Warlock got the gauntlet back and just turned everything back in time to before it happened, and then kicked Thanos' ass, and that was it. Like, I hope they don't do that.
No. What I think they're going to do.
It's very close to that in the book, and it's not a good ending.
Well, what I think they're going to do is they're going to start seeding like the new stuff that they've just acquired, like all the X-Men and everything. Like because what you can do now that you have the gauntlet in play is you can change the universe in any fucking way you want. So like, what if say if they have to go back in time and they have to change, and like somehow some human ancestor gets mutated, and now you have mutants, and you've had mutants throughout all of history, and that's why you haven't seen an X-Men this whole time. But now, when you jump back, it's like, who the fuck are these guys? And you have an explanation for why you have these X-Men or whatever, and then you can bring in any number of other characters now because you've got the Fantastic Four, you've got all that stuff to draw from.
So Wolverine can come in and kick Thanos' ass.
Exactly.
I'm thinking maybe that Thanos is going to kill a couple more people, like then kill a couple more like original Avengers.
Yeah.
And then they're going to reverse it back, but only the people that he gauntleted. You know what I mean? Only the people they turned to dust and made disappear.
Right.
Those people will come back.
The people who actually died are dead.
But the people who actually died,
Loki's
dead, and
Heimdall is dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like those people are going to be gone. Like they're not going to be able to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe cool.
With the exception of Gamora, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Whenever...
Honestly, they might need to clear up some more space in Guardians because Guardians is starting to get full right now.
That's true.
They added Mantis, and then if they bring in Adam Warlock and he joins them, there's going to be like 8 or 9 Guardians of the Galaxy, which is way too big a team.
Yeah.
Oh. So.
I do like Mantis a lot. She's so fucking funny. But whenever he says put your fucking battle faces on, she makes that fucking face, and she makes it the whole scene.
Yeah,
it's so fucking funny. And she's just making her teeth showing just like this. It's so funny.
Yeah, I was like when it said like going back in time and like recreating like different timelines or like okay now we have this. I was thinking well at first I thought like okay maybe Doctor Strange can do this, but then he's dead now. So through some way though through some at the time that I watched the movie I was not yet aware of the existence of Adam Warlock. So maybe he gets the gauntlet, turns things back, whatever, and like somehow creates some weird time portal, alternate dimension, and in comes crashing through the Hulk, played by Edward Norton. And just people like, who's that?
I would not like that because I really like Mark Ruffalo as a Hulk.
No, they could have two, whatever.
That's what he means. Like they
you get two Hulks?
Like he's
Yeah.
from another universe.
Yeah. What the heck?
That'd be great. Oh, and Hugh Jackman comes through.
Me saying that, me saying that I like Edward
And then
Norton.
they fight.
Me saying that I like Edward Norton is not me saying that I dislike Mark Ruffalo.
Oh,
but
yeah, fair.
But it's I think that would be one
fun.
way of kind of acknowledging the elephant in the room that we've been trying to ignore for the last 10 years. Is that like, oh, you don't look like you used to.
It's like that Hulk movie took place in an adjacent universe, and that Hulk does exist.
Yeah.
It's just not this Hulk.
That's what I mean. Yeah, he's alternate universe Hulk.
Yeah, and
Right.
that Tony is the same Tony because remember Tony's in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah.
That'd be really funny.
Yeah.
I love that audiences are now more comic book aware, so that when we do ridiculous shit like the Infinity Gauntlet, people aren't like, "Well, that's stupid. You can do whatever you want." They're like, "Oh my god, I want to see what happens. He has the gauntlet now. What is he going to do?"
Yeah.
It's like everyone's get the enthusiasm of what a comic book reader should have. That's what would Johnny Lawrence say? He would say, "I don't give a shit that it's not possible." He'd be like, "That's badass. That gauntlet is badass."
I can get some babes.
Exactly. I think we should go upstairs and watch Karate Kid now.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, Cobra Kai.
Cobra
I will
Kai.
give it the respect it deserves.
I keep calling it Karate Kid.
Yeah. No, we're gonna go watch Cobra Kai now.
Actually, I call it Karate Child.
That's Will Smith Jr.
Karate Child.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Karate Child
Karate
movie.
Child movie.
He's like 8 in that or something.
Martial arts child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's another thing that sucked about that movie is they were so little that they couldn't really pound on each other.
Yeah.
know?
You have to be teenagers. Like teenagers can act. You could theoretically really hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Probably not kill
The fights
them.
couldn't get too out of control, and also like they couldn't show any scenes where it was like Mr. Miyagi like beating up the kids. You know what I
Right,
mean? They
right.
couldn't do that in that movie,
Right.
Because the kids were like fucking 11.
Yeah. It's like why would you even do that? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
No,
couldn't
that's
show
so-
Jackie Chan beating on 11-year-olds. They weren't going to do that.
Although that would have been amazing.
That would have been
They're
hilarious.
just
Like,
like punting them.
I'm over here thinking
Over
about that
fence.
right now. Like, I want to see that movie.
I do too. Jackie Chan beats the shit out of children.
It's like, wait, didn't somebody have an idea for a video game called? I feel like we talked about it either here, maybe it wasn't on the air, but Bebe's Kids or something.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
It's not an idea for a game. It is a game.
okay, so maybe that is a game. Maybe we talked
Yes.
about like going through. Maybe like that's a game. What is the game? First of all, tell me what is the game.
Baby's
It's a beat 'em up game where.
Yeah, go ahead. You were on.
No, you're gonna do a way better job of explaining this than I am.
Yeah, it is a beat 'em up. Jared told me that it was based on a joke.
Okay.
There's a comedian that it was like one of his bits that he would do, and then he did an animated movie, and the video game's based on the movie.
If you really think about that, though, there is a video game that is based on a bit, a comedy bit.
Yes, exactly.
A stand-up bit. That is ridiculous.
So what generation system platform are we?
It's
are we
Super
talking?
Nintendo.
Okay.
Very early 90s.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would be like there being a Hot Pockets game starring Jim fucking what's his name? Jim Gaffigan.
So
yeah.
so what's the story of the game? Like what's the set the gist? Because
They're just like little like troublemaking kids.
Yeah.
and so you play a troublemaker kid, like
Yeah, you pick one of Bebe's kids. It's like Tyrone or
Yeah, I think there's one. I think one is Tyrone.
Tyrone
I
and-
forget the other ones.
something with an S.
Okay, let me tell you what my idea was, and I don't remember if I talked about this on an episode, but I feel like I might have said this before.
The first level, you just go to the carnival and just like basically beat up the mascots.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so,
first of all, what do you mean the first level? Do you mean the only level either of us have seen?
I mean, like I've gotten past the first like area. I don't know if that's the first level or not.
I don't think you can get past the second area because you run out of time.
You do. It's terrible.
It's impossible.
I think that it was a good idea for a game. If not Baby as Kids, then whatever we can call it, whatever we want. So, or if anybody out there, I'm going to put a team together to make this game unless you do first. And please do, because I just want to play it regardless. I don't care. I want to have a game where you just play yourself, a guy, a girl, whatever, and you go through a level, side scroller, classic action, Double Dragon, beat 'em up, whatever, where you just go through and kick the crap out of kids, like as you go through, like 11-year-olds. And the idea is you go through the entire level, like beating up these random like little shithead 11-year-olds and snot-nosed dwarfs, whatever. But at the end of the level, the boss is that kid's parents.
Wow.
Oh man, it's called Kid Kicker.
It's called Kid Kicker.
Kid Kicker.
So like whatever shitty
called
parent had all
beat
those
up Bebe's kids.
all those little shits. Yeah, that's my idea. So I'm gonna see that happen.
All right. Well, no, let's go watch some kids kick each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's yeah. Thanks for listening. That was it's one of the episodes of Grown Up Human Comic People. 59. Tune in next week for something else. Let's say goodbye to everybody. J-Man.
See ya.
Old Greg.
Until next time.
I'm Jared. We'll see you later. And that's enough of that.
Grown up human.